Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily Wednesday workout. Des here, just checking in. Quick one tonight, I think, just to let you know how I'm getting on, how I'm feeling, how the day's manifested itself. Hoping to instill just that little bit of midweek motivation to encourage you to get the most from your midweek and the rest of the week ahead. Personally, still absolutely on it in terms of the running. Another 5 miles in the tank tonight. Went to the running club. It was wet and wintry and windy at that. Went out in the snow, extended the usual 5k route. Like I say, covered 5 miles. It was tough in the conditions. It seemed like the snow was in my face all the way around, but sometimes, I've spoke about it a lot in the past, I like it when the elements are against us as well. It just feels like I've taken that extra step. So whilst I'm still trying to motivate myself to get fully into my training, it feels like if I can get out in those kind of conditions, it's just extra determination and proving I can still do it regardless of what the elements or what anything is thrown at me. So really pleased with that. A little bit achy and tired. That's 15 miles so far for the week. So it's been really productive in the activity sense. And of course, I always use that as my base to build my week around. If I start well, I tend to sort of go on, and I spoke a lot yesterday about my Monday motivation and never miss a Monday. And this is why it's so important, because already I've almost done as many miles as last week. And of course, in the training plan, I've just got to be careful not to do too many. So probably do a few miles tomorrow and then have a rest on Friday before whatever I do at the weekend. But it's all because I started with that relatively recent quick time, and that's really put me in good stead. And it's not just in terms of the training and taking that forward. I was thinking to myself before I come on this evening, what I was just briefly what I was thinking about talking about and what I'd spoken about yesterday. And in many ways, I've kind of forgotten about that. It's not until I've purposely reminded myself that one or two gripes from the weekend, one or two things I explained yesterday, and how I'm planning things going forward and trying to fit everything in just by being productive and being full steam ahead at the moment and looking forward to my next run and looking forward to the next day, the jobs I've got to complete at work. Feels like it's already behind me. I always say, these blips, these things that are sent to testers creep up out of nowhere, but they also, when it turns for the good, that comes out of nowhere sometimes. And already I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. Getting it off my chest yesterday, doing it the way I did it, saying things the way I said it, quite blunt, quite straightforward, being honest with myself, almost asking myself questions. I named the episode Quandary because it just feels like I've been in a bit of a quandary about how to take things forward. I kind of admitted as well that I've not got things right. I've not got the things I want to do. The most important things, I've been almost not disrespecting them, but disregarding them a little bit to do some of the things that probably aren't quite as important to me anymore. But like I say, all of a sudden now, for a strong start to the week with my activity, I don't need to explain that so much anymore of why I do that, but it helps with productivity. It helps me move quickly from one situation to another, get those tricky jobs out the way when they come up, and it's just been a case of that. Just been a case of working through it, and what happens, you do it bit by bit, hour by hour, day by day, and then all of a sudden you get onto a real roll with it. And I'm doing what I'm going to say now because just kind of reminding myself of it. I've been talking to Kay about plans for the next few weeks, so again I'm building, and it all becomes naturally. The training fits in, and the things I enjoy fit in, and I make things happen. And it's probably been a case of it being almost a labour of love with some of these things. You know, I spoke about my running, I spoke about DOdaily, I spoke about running groups and all the things I do to try and pay it forward, which I absolutely love doing. But again, I've got to find a way to make the most of what I can, you know, and if that means dropping one or two things to accommodate others and make them better, you know, that's really important. And the one thing I've done this week above all is I put myself first in terms of this activity. So it's been a case of finishing work, getting out for a run, you know, not giving myself that time. I've probably been a bit guilty in the past of wanting to rest a little bit, you know, and almost wind down, and then losing motivation as that hour or so between work and running groups, for example, sort of sets in. But it's been a case of straight on it. Yesterday I went home from work. Monday I had the accountability of the coaching session. Tonight I had the accountability of the running club. Tomorrow, more coaching, so that gives me great accountability. Then I spoke about potentially having a day off on Friday. And what I've got to do at the moment as well is make sure I get it in. Those conditions aren't fantastic. And of course I love getting out there in the rain, in the sleet, in the snow. But we have to be mindful as well, don't we? We have to make sure that it's safe. Of course, doing the running club, I've got to make sure the guys are safe. It's not got that bad yet. Who knows, overnight here in Nottingham throughout the UK might just get a bit, the conditions might get a bit tough and we might just have to take a few days off forced. That's definitely not what I want. But if I do have, again, after the strong start, if I have to do that, you know, at least I know I've bagged something, you know, I've got something in the tank and I'm moving it forward again. As the week progresses, it'd be fantastic to keep doing what I've been doing, and like I say, do it the way I've planned. Got another park run in mind for the weekend. The one thing I've probably been missing in terms of my activity, and as it is Wednesday workout, of course there's a big focus on the activity, so no apologies for mentioning it and how it's going, but the one thing I am missing is a long run, probably a Sunday long run. You know, that's generally where they come in. But this week I'll be away in London for the night on Saturday, going to a football match, tying in my park run, and I'm hoping to use the inspiration of being away, being in London, somewhere I love, you know, to get out there first thing in the morning. We've got a late checkout, we've got a later train, so myself and Kay can get up and use a place we love, a place we love to explore, to go running and just try and get a few miles in the tank. And if I can do that, you know, if the weather don't beat what I'm planning to do for the rest of the week, if it don't beat that, you know, I'm going to be feeling absolutely fantastic. Already so much better than where I was yesterday, so much better than where I was on Monday, and so much better where I was on Sunday. And that's because I went out there, never missed a Monday, but I'm sticking to my routines now. It's becoming habit again. I'm getting prepared before work so I can get out, and these things all add up, don't they? And it's just a case of doing what we do. If you're not necessarily an exercise freak like myself, or like I try to be at least, I wouldn't say like myself. If you're not of an exercise mind, you know, this Wednesday workout's all about taking time for yourself as well. So for me, that is running. But if you need to sort of just take an hour out, half an hour, 10 minutes just from what you're doing, a lot of people start getting stressed on a Wednesday and worried about what they've not done and what they need to do by the end of the week, you know, and it can get a bit overwhelming. So what I always encourage is just to take some time out, find something you enjoy. Don't say I'm busy, you know, because we're all busy, you know. I'm always talking about busy, and we can make ourselves even busier in it. We can end up sort of burning out very, very quickly, you know. And when I say burnout, it's probably the wrong word, but we can tire ourselves out a little bit, you know. It's not quite as bad as burnout, you know, ultimately, but we can tire, and then once we're tired, we make wrong decisions, you know. We sort of start that sort of downward spiral, don't we? And what I'm trying to sort of say is take some time out, do the things you enjoy, find reasons to be positive. Again, I'm doing it today. It's been easy, we were all stood in the running group thinking, oh my God, we've got to go out in the snow. But we did it. When we come back, we're all talking about it being in our face and bashing offers and all these things. But again, we found the positives in it. I sort of found it a struggle at the start tonight, but halfway through, when I wet through, when the snow seems to have turned around and come in my face again, I'm there thinking, yes, I've taken that next step, and it's finding that positive, isn't it? So if we can keep doing that as the week builds on, I know already I'm having a better week than last week. It wasn't a bad week last week. It finished a bit tricky through some of the reasons I said yesterday, but if I can keep doing what I'm doing, if I can get those runs in at the weekend, night in London with Kay, enjoy a football match, that's everything I need to do to start the next one in a good frame of mind. If I never miss a Monday, get to Wednesday in the same frame of mind, I'll be absolutely over the moon. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about finding some midweek motivation, being in a good place on hump day, so you can come down the other side thinking, bring it on. And that's where I'm back to. That's what I've been striving to for so long in terms of the running. I'm almost feeling like I want to again. I tell people, no matter what pace, no matter what distance they do, when they call themselves part-time runners or joggers, no, you're a runner. And I'm starting, but what I will say on that is, even though I encourage it, we all have our own insecurities and our own sort of concerns with it and what we're not doing. So I've been a little bit guilty of that, but I'm starting to feel like a runner again. Somebody who people look at and think, yeah, he's been out for a run. One or two people have sort of mentioned it to me that I've picked up, and again, it's just without doing it for other people. I'm doing it solely for myself and solely because I want to get that enjoyment back. But it's nice to hear that people are noticing, because then that's where you can be a real inspiration. That's where you can pay it forward, encourage, inspire, motivate, and bring people along with you. And that's all I'm trying to do. That's what DOdaily is about. Just an honest take on where I'm at any given day of the week. Today's motivation was Wednesday workout. Of course, tomorrow is Thursday thoughts. So whilst I'll be continuing with my activity in the background, the episode is questions, anything you want to ask me, anything I've said so far, anything deep, anything about my life, about your experiences. If you want to get in touch anonymously, that's fine. But if you've got anything to ask me, I'm totally open and honest as I have been this week. Do check out yesterday's episode. I was really quite pleased with it in the end. I wasn't quite sure that I'd got the message out, but I was really sort of honest, and it come out pretty well, even though I thought I'd not articulated it. So this is what it's about. So if you've got anything to ask me, drop it in the comments, drop it on any of the social media you'll see at the end of the video, and I'd love to reply to that. It's a live episode. It gets me out of my comfort zone, but that's what I keep doing. Keep getting out of my comfort zone to try and help and encourage and show people that if I'm doing it, anybody can do it. Because I'm not an natural at this, but what I am is driven, determined and dedicated to what I do. Doesn't always come across like that, but I think I'm getting back to a point where it is, and that's so important to me. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. If you understand DOdaily, or you appreciate what I'm doing, or you've taken anything from it, please give this episode a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. This is something I'm trying to build. I'm trying to get all my habits right, so the right messages come across again. I want to do more research. I want to take more time on it to articulate myself and be an inspiration. I'll make no bones about that. I'd love one day to do this motivational video that people really enjoy, and that's my only real aim with this. But that'd take a long time. That's going to take a lot of hard work, but I'm not scared of that. Just got to get back to the routines, habits, on the back of the exercise, the things that it does for me. And like I say, I feel it's coming. Until tomorrow. Wasn't that short in the end, was it? Just looked at how long I've been on, but I got on a bit of a roll there, just doing it.